Hi, this is the third in a series of short videos to answer some of the questions that I'm frequently asked about EFT and about coaching with tapping. My name is Jenny Clift and I'm on a mission to help get EFT out to as many musicians and stage performers as I can. Today I wanted to ask one question, which is, how did I, as a musician, get into EFT? How did I discover it? How I've used it for myself and how that's sort of developed. So basically, back in 2010, 2011, I was at a stage of my career. I'd gone through doing different things. That's a whole other story. And then getting into freelancing. And then from there, because of stability and finding regular work, moving more and more into teaching violin, I got to a point where I had a successful teaching practice and I was performing at the weekends. I was leading a semi-professional orchestra here in Madrid, but I was really not satisfied. I wanted to be doing more performing and less of the teaching. But I had a lot of limiting beliefs going on. I had a lot of feelings that I'm not good enough, there's too many people out there, there aren't the opportunities, I can't make money, all these kind of things which come up for a lot of people, I think. So but I was getting a bit desperate. I was very frustrated at work and really that feeling of, I've got to do something about this before it's too late. So I looked online. I'm very into kind of self-help, personal development, even slightly woo-woo stuff. And so looking on YouTube, I found suddenly this video popped up in my feed. And it was an EFT tapping video. It was an English guy, I remember. And so I started looking at this technique and I thought, that looks interesting. And one thing I absolutely loved about it was that I didn't have to say anything positive right away. So instead of saying, and I'd been doing a lot of affirmations and positive thinking and that idea of everything's going really well, or I'm a successful violinist with a wonderful performing career, and then with that little voice in my head going, in your dreams, I didn't have to say this. With tapping, I was able to say, even though I'm desperate to be performing and I'm stuck in this teaching or whatever it was. And so using EFT, I started to see so many possibilities for myself. From the YouTube videos, I discovered my EFT coach, Brad Yates, who's on YouTube big time, and worked with him for 5 years doing one-on-one sessions. And people have said to me, but why so long? Are you so messed up? And my answer is no, absolutely not. But I just love the whole development thing, the inner work. And it was just so fascinating for me to go inside, see how changing what's going on in the inside really allows you to change what's going on the outside. And from there, I moved back into performing. I found a member of a piano quartet, then a guitar and violin duo. I made 2 CDs. I made an online teaching violin course, all kinds of things. And I'm not saying all of this to say, oh, look at me, I'm so amazing. But it was really that whole thing of creating possibility, whereas before I really didn't see it. So I wrote a book, of course, as you do. So the book, The Music Inside, I just want to read you a tiny bit from there. This is when I discovered EFT for the first time. As a performer, I was immediately struck by the possibilities of this technique for dealing with all the different aspects involved. Aspects such as performance anxiety, self-doubt, physical blocks and injuries, bad days, and difficult lessons. On Gary Craig's website, and if you saw the last video, you'll know that he was kind of the founder of EFT. I discovered many articles from EFT practitioners who had used the technique specifically with musicians, as well as with sportsmen and women and dancers. The articles had titles like, using EFT to conquer jitters for musicians. EFT brings about 80.7% sports performance improvement. Clearing an old issue helps jazz singer improvise. How do I apply EFT for performance issues? This was gold. I read and read, getting more and more excited. And then I started tapping in earnest. So then, after all of that, I decided, okay, now it's time. I really want to share this with other people. And I started coaching. I got 2 certifications, one which is with EFT Universe and Dr. Dawson Church, who's one of the people, and I'll talk about him in another video, because he's been really pushing to get scientific studies done and really make this legitimate and more accepted by our Western society. And another tapping qualification I got was tapping into wealth, because the whole money issues that so many of us have, musicians and artists, of course, we have this horrible starving artist cloud above our heads, and the idea we can't make money doing what we love. So there's so many things that you can get into and really change limiting beliefs and allow yourself to move forward in quite different ways. So that brings me to the present day, and now this whole idea of bringing EFT to as many musicians and stage performers as I can. So that concludes this video, and I'll continue tomorrow with all the science behind EFT. So I hope you'll join me with that. Thanks for watching.